Dzisiaj wprawdzie nie o świętach, ale o takiej działalności, która może w jakiś sposób być związana ze świętami, z okresem przedświątecznym, czyli charytatywność i wolontariat. Good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about charity and volunteering. Charity and volunteering are two types of activities which are very closely related. In Polish, charity, charytatywność lub działalność charytatywna, and volunteering, wolontariat. So, as I said, these are two things that go together quite closely. Volunteering is actually one of the forms of charity. So, first of all, I would like to show you a slogan which is very popular in England, and it concerns charity. The slogan says, "Charity begins at home." What does it mean? Well, it means that you should start helping other people. You should start doing charity work from your closest environment, from the closest circle of people who are around you. Of course, it is good to help people in need who live abroad, in poor countries, on poor continents, in places where there is war, in places where there are a lot of natural disasters. However, probably the easiest way is to start helping others close to you. So your neighbors, people who live in your city. You will always find people who are in need, who live around you. So that's why there is this slogan in English, charity begins at home, czyli charytatywność należy zaczynać, czy charytatywność zaczyna się od własnego podwórka. I believe this is very true. Really, I think first of all we should just look around, and we will always find people around us who need our help. And helping these people is probably the easiest because they are just around us. Okay, so who are these people who need our help, who need to be helped in the form of, charity or volunteering? So who are the people in need? Well, there are different categories of people who are in need. I will just enumerate the most common ones here. So, first of all, the homeless. Homeless people generally are in a difficult situation. They are not only homeless, but they also usually are jobless, unemployed. So that means that they have no money. Very often they suffer from some diseases. Very often they do not have enough money to buy food, so they don't have enough food. So homeless are generally people in need in many ways. So we can help them. You will always, and you will find such people everywhere. The second group of people, the second let's say category of people in need are the disabled, czyli niepełnosprawni. So these are people who may need our help with, for example, sometimes with some daily activities, like, for example, doing shopping, going for a walk, cleaning up, running errands, czyli załatwianie sprawunków. Sometimes just, helping them move around. Of course, there are people with different disabilities. People can be disabled in different ways. Therefore, they may need our help in different ways. There are people who are severely disabled, who are, as we say in English, bedridden, czyli przykuci do łóżka, who cannot leave the bed, who cannot move, and then they really need our help. Also, their members of family who are with them all the time, they also need our help. Sometimes we can just help them take care of the disabled people. The next category are the sick, so sick people, especially those who are chronically sick or severely ill, and because of that, very often they are also disabled, or they cannot do all their, let's say, life activities. So how can we help the sick? Well, there are different ways. Sometimes it's just enough, just to go to them and, I don't know, talk to them, read a book. Again, you can do some shopping, and so on and so on. There are different forms of helping them. The next category is the unemployed. The unemployed people very often need money. Very often they do not have enough money to pay the bills, to pay for the basic necessity, for clothes, for food. So we can also help those people, well, usually financially, but also we can help them find a job, for example, or we can give them a job. Okay, who else or what else can need our help? Because it is not only people that need to be helped. A very common big group of people who usually need our help are the elderly. The elderly people very often are not physically fit. Very often they are disabled or partly disabled. Very often they are lonely. Very often they do not have enough money to survive, or they're not strong enough to do things around them. So elderly is probably one of the most common groups that need our help. Also victims of disasters. Whenever a disaster, a natural disaster or man-made disaster happens, it happens usually very quickly and suddenly, and very often these people lose everything. They lose their homes, they lose their jobs, they lose their livelihood, czyli źródło utrzymania. They are just on their own, so we can provide these people with some things they need, which they have lost, or with money, or just give them shelters, give them food, or just help in the logistics. For example, help to move these people to a safe place, or just if it happens really close to us, we can just help to rescue them. Another big group of not people, but in this way, let's say, beings are animals. Animals very often need our help. Sometimes they can become victims of natural disasters, but most of all, these are animals around us, the domestic animals which suddenly become homeless, or they have been homeless all their lives. So homeless dogs, homeless cats, birds in winter, for example, animals which have been hurt in some accidents. There are different groups of animals that need our help, or just wild animals sometimes. We can help them too by providing food in winter, or some kind of shelter to the animals in the cities. Another category of people are the poor. So people who are poor, well, by definition, they need our help. The fact that they are poor very often means that they do not have money for the bills. They do not have money for food, for proper clothes. They do not have sometimes money to buy school books for their children, or some devices. Like right now, we are all involved in online teaching, but online teaching requires, well, computer, a laptop, an internet connection, earphones, microphones. So this is equipment that poor people, poor children, for example, very often do not have. Well, the next category of people who may need our help are children. Children can be in need for various reasons. They can be poor, especially if they live in poor countries. So then you will find, millions of poor people who do not have even the basic necessities. But there are also poor children around us, people from poor families where parents are unemployed, or there is something wrong going on in the family. Family can have some problems. So these children usually are victims of this situation. So we can also help them. Also, we can help, especially nowadays, the environment we live in. The environment is being destroyed at a very fast pace nowadays, so we have to take care of it. The environment in many cases is helpless, so we just have to protect it. We just have to do it. And as we know, the environment can pay us, so this will definitely be a charity work. All right, so who is involved in charity work? Who can become volunteers? Well, first of all, NGOs. What is NGO? NGO is an acronym which means a non-governmental organization, czyli organizacja pozarządowa. Of course, NGOs deal with many different things, not only charity work, not only volunteer work, but a lot of the charity organizations are non-governmental or non-profit organizations. In English, they are just called NGOs. An organization which basically deals with charity work or charitable work, organizes volunteering activities. In English, it is simply called a charity. So you have to remember that charity in English can mean two things. When it's uncountable noun, charity means działalność charytatywna lub charytatywność. When it's a countable noun, so you say a charity, it means organizacja charytatywna, fundacja, and so on and so on. You can also use the adjective charitable, czyli charytatywny. For example, charitable foundation, czyli fundacja charytatywna. Very often charities, they operate as foundations, yes, czyli fundacje. They just collect money, they raise money from people who donate this money, and then they use the money for charity activities. And of course, most of the charity work is based on volunteers. Volunteers, czyli wolontariusze, ochotnicy. So volunteers are the core of all charity organizations, charitable foundations, NGOs, and so on and so on. All right, so what are the ways of helping others? So what can be the types of activities in which charities are involved, in which volunteers are involved? So first of all, probably the well, I don't know if the easiest is the right word, but the basic form of activity is raising funds for a good cause. Raise funds simply means that you go around and ask people for money, and then you use this money for some charity work. This money that you collect is called donations, czyli tak zwane datki lub darowizny, donations. In English we say that we raise funds. To jest zbierać pieniądze. You raise funds for a good cause. Good cause in Polish means słuszna sprawa, dobra sprawa, na słuszny cel, na dobry cel. So we raise funds for good cause. A lot of foundations operate in this way. They just, advertise their activities, ask people for donations, and then people often donate money. Another way of raising money or raising funds is to organize charitable events, all kinds of events. These can be concerts, very popular form of charitable events, concerts. This can be some sports competitions. This can be some, let's say, parties, balls, receptions. It can be, well, actually all kinds of activities which attract large groups of people, and these people can donate money to the organizers. Of course, you have to organize the good cause for which you raise the funds. Also, you can do voluntary work, so you do not actually collect money, you don't raise funds for people in need, but you help them by doing some work. Of course, there can be a multitude, a large variety of types of voluntary work. You can just, you know, help people with their, you know, daily activities. You can just help them, I don't know, build something, like build houses for the homeless. Lots of different ways. Of course, you as an individual, as a individual person, you can just donate money. You know, nowadays we are living in a very fast-moving world. The pace of life is very quick. We have very little time. So sometimes we wish we could do some voluntary work. We wish we could attend some charitable event, but because of lack of time, the easiest thing for us is just donate money, czyli podarować, oddać pieniądze, wpłacić pieniądze. You can also donate things. Very often we have things which we do not need anymore, we do not use anymore, but they are still good. You can still use them, other people can still make use of them, so you can donate those things to other people. Nowadays you have very often these points where you can leave things you don't need anymore, like clothes or some home appliances, or even, you know, good food, and people in need will just get them. You can also take care of people in need, so you can actually go to these people and help them by being with them, staying with them, talking to them. For example, the elderly, the sick, you can help them around the house. Yes, you can help them cook, you can help them clean, you can help them do shopping. So you can actually, you know, stay with these people and help them, well, mentally, just to cheer them up, but also physically help them do things around them. What else can we do? We can also organize awareness-raising campaigns. What does it mean? Well, to raise awareness means podnieść świadomość. So, a lot of people, they don't know who needs help around them. They do not know that people need help. They don't know how they can help. So, you can organize some workshop, training, education campaigns, advertising campaigns to raise awareness of people about charity, about volunteering, about forms of charity, so that they will know how they can help other people, and they will know who needs our help in what form. Also, you can organize fundraising competitions. We have already mentioned that you can organize all kinds of events, competitions, different competitions, sport competitions, but also other contests can be organized, and people who attend such events, also their families, they can just, you know, donate money. Sometimes these competitions, if you want to take part, if you want to enter this competition, you have to pay so-called entrance fee, czyli opłatę startową. And this entrance fee later is used for some charitable work, for some good cause. As I said, you can spend time with people in need. Sometimes these people, for example, the elderly and the sick, they are very lonely. They stay at home alone. They have nobody to talk to. They have nobody, you know, to, I don't know, even to read to them or just to talk to them. So even such a small gesture is valuable, is precious for these people. Also, you can help children with schoolwork. There are a lot of kids who are struggling with school for different reasons, because, well, they have some kind of learning difficulties or learning disabilities, or their families are not doing very well and cannot help them. So such children very often, you know, they are struggling, as I said, at school. They have problems at school. So they need somebody to go to them after school, you know, in the afternoon, just to help them do their homework, prepare for the classes, so on and so on. A lot of young people, youths, they are involved in this. They help younger kids with their schoolwork because they can do it quite well. Also, you can help animals. You can help animals which are in animal shelters, czyli schroniska. How can you help them? Well, you can go there, you can clean their cages or pens or wherever they live, the place where they stay, so you can help to clean it up. A lot of animals, dogs, they need a walk. So a very popular and quite pleasant form of helping with animals at the shelter is taking these animals, taking dogs for a walk. So this is what you can do. That's easy. That's, as I said, quite pleasant. Young people can do it. Even, you know, older children can do it. So, or children with parents. So this is great fun, but at the same time, this is just volunteering and charity work. As I said before, we also need to help our environment. The environment is getting polluted, it's getting destroyed. So although it might be difficult for us, you know, to fight with, I don't know, big industry polluting the environment, but there is still a lot we can do just around us. So clean up the environment. You know, there are those campaigns, the Cleanup Day, the World Cleanup Day, and many other events of that kind, where you just go out into your you know, closest neighborhood environment, to the forest near you, just to clean it up. You'll always find some trash lying around. So cleaning up the environment, the plastic, the packaging, it's always a good idea. All right, so thank you very much. I believe that this short presentation has made the issues of volunteering and charity work closer to you, that you will be able to talk about this in English, maybe to talk about the charity work that you have been involved in, about the volunteering that you do. A lot of young people do it, I know. So at school, also during your matura exam, maybe you will be able to talk about it better. So thank you very much and goodbye.